Happy Wednesday, everybody. How are you doing? My name is Rocky Ballesteros, and welcome to a new week of, or new episode of my Wednesday comics. I know a lot of you guys are coming from Shant's stream, which is amazing. Thank you, Shant, for sending your chat over, sending the gang over. Yeah, it was great to catch Shant's stream just before this. I was actually going to call him, as I had mentioned in his chat. I was going to call him. We were due to talk, and I was driving. I was like, "Oh, this would be a good time to call." And then I saw he's live, and I was like, "Ah, oh, shoot, I can't talk to him now." But I do have to catch up with him. But yeah, it was great seeing him stream, paint, talk about Halloween, all the good stuff that represents Shant. And everybody in the chat, well, not everybody, but people that know me in the chat know I have this notorious. I'm not doing it on purpose, I promise. But sometimes Shant's stream and mine cross over, especially now that he's launched his second chance campaign, Nosfero 2. No, I always say Nosfero 2. Nosfero's second chance campaign and his art edition. Go check it out. I'm sure a lot of you guys already backed it. But ever since he's launched that, he has been on a streaming tear, which makes a lot of sense. Just kind of putting the word out there, connecting with his audience. But he's just taking up all the space now, Shant. Like, come on, dude. Give me a chance. Give the little guys a chance. No, it's all good. It's all good. And I love that we can tag team. I love that we can support one another. I love that we can connect on this in this strange world called YouTube, because Shant's mentioned it before a number of times, but we've known each other for 30 years, which is bananas. And we first connected because of comics in college, and we've been friends ever since. So our paths have, as most lives with people that you know for a long time, your lives will intertwine in and out. And as you change and grow and move different places, you know, our paths have done the same thing. But now, over the last year plus, almost 2 years now, we've reconnected in this YouTube world. Not that we lost connection before, but this YouTube world has added a different dimension to our friendship. And it's been so awesome just learning from him and watching what he's done on his channel and supporting him and him supporting me. It's been amazing. So for all of you guys who have come from his channel today and also from times past, thank you so much. As you know, as you've gotten to know Shant, he's such a great guy, and he's always been that. This is authentically Shant, what you're seeing on his YouTube channel. It's not an act. It's not a persona. It really is who Shant is, and it's really just fun to be around, just fun to talk art, fun to talk life, fun to talk philosophy, and just what makes us excited. And he can be, we could have dumb jokes. Like, we've sent the dumbest jokes to each other, and now that we're both married and both have kids and our kids are growing up, we kind of relate on the like dad joke humor too. Like, so yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and I have nothing but love for that dude. He recently celebrated his birthday, and I'm just so happy for him. He's a little bit older than me, but not by much. But he's closer to the grave than I am. That's why it's good to see him go down the chute first. But anyway, it's really great to be here again with you guys. For those of you this is your first time here, usually Wednesday I will stream. I call it My Wednesday Comics, and I make it a point to try and go to the comic book store every Wednesday. As you know, new books come out on Wednesday, and share what I have discovered, share what I find, share what I pick up. And sometimes that means stuff that I already have in my own collection. And sometimes there's new books that are coming out. And I just recently rediscovered my love for comics, like I said, with this whole YouTube thing within the last year or 2 years. So just finding what I'm interested in now, and talking about why I'm interested in it, and also how it applies to me as an artist, because I'm an artist as well, just like Shant. and my own art and my own aspirations of producing my own comic book. All this stuff is like just research, experience, um, just fun, passion, and I love sharing it with you guys. So yeah, on Wednesdays, usually I go over the books that I picked up the week and why I picked them up. I only have a couple books today, but I also have a package that came in earlier this week. And sometimes I'll do unboxings on this channel, and so I'll do a unboxing just to supplement the books that I picked up this week. So some of you guys might know what it is, but we'll look through that too. And then also on off days, not Wednesdays, usually sometimes Monday, sometimes Friday, sometimes both, I've started this new series called Master Studies, and I've done 2 master studies, and what I'm doing is doing a replication or a master copy, if you will, of comic book pages from comic artists that are huge inspirations and idols for me. So I've only done 2 replications so far. The first one was a Mike Zeck page from Punisher, from his original run on Punisher. And the second page was a Michael Golden page from the Nam. And so those turned out really great. And I'll stream the process of going from pencils, holy moly, pencils and plotting it out to full-on inks. And the big thing for me as an artist and a aspiring comic book artist is I'm all about the traditional medium and putting ink to paper, brush to paper, and like kind of mastering those techniques. I love, there's a lot of great artists that work digitally or, do a combo of both, but I'm all for the traditional process and learning from the masters who really, really harness that craft. So that's what I'm trying to do with the master studies, just learn like different techniques, different tools, just by recreating or trying to recreate as best as I can what they've done on their page, and reproduce it traditionally on my side. So that's been super fun. And I just started the new series or new master study yesterday for the first penciling part of it. I'm doing a master study of Will Eisner, one of his pages from The Spirit. So that, as I mentioned to those of you who were with me on the stream yesterday, that one is probably going to be my hardest page to date because it is just chock full of every difficult thing you can think of in comic books. But it's really exciting because I know I'll learn a lot from it. I will struggle a lot. I'm already struggling a lot with it, but it's going to be really fun to kind of get through that one. So I probably will be streaming another time later this week, whether that's tomorrow or I'm guessing probably Friday. Oh, no, maybe not Friday. Well, maybe Friday. To kind of keep chugging along on that one. But so yeah, that's kind of what we're about here for the newbies. But for everybody who has been here before, such as my good friend, Comrade Sammy. Oh, geez, why did I just lose your... Oh, there we go. Comrade Sammy, what's up? Ditching Shant to start your own stream. No, I'm not. I'm not doing... It's not like that. It's not like that. I'm not that kind of person. Mark's Music Obsession is here. Mark's always here. Especially if I stream before... probably before 7 o'clock my time, which is the Pacific Standard Time. I'm in the West Coast. So Mark's here if it's within his awake hours. But good to see you, Mark. Mr. Monkey Boy 1969 is here.
How do you say monkey in French?
That's how you say monkey in French. How you doing? Hi, kids. Fancy meeting you here. And Awesome One, always with the encouraging word.
Yes! That's awesome!
Emo Trash. What up, Emo Trash? Randomly trying to figure out notifications. Don't you guys know? I've totally given up on notifications. I just figure people will show up when they'll show up, because YouTube notifications cannot be trusted. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Mark's Music Obsession said, Shant is sending people over. Amazing. somebody like Mo Biggs. What up, Mo Biggs? Hail the chat. How are you doing, Mo Biggs? Good to see you. I know I've seen you around in other chats before, but good to see you here. Thank you for coming. There's a notification. Cranberry Landers is here. Cranberry, what up?
This is a cranberry, full of power.
Cranberry Landers, always lurking, always commenting. Super faithful. Love it. Timmy Mello is here. Hail chat, Timmy Mello says. What up, Timmy Mello? And who else is here? Everybody, what's up? Stream has been raided. Yes, that makes me a little nervous, but no, it's awesome. I love new people coming in here, slowly growing the channel as we are. I think we're at 321. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Subscribers, which is amazing. If you had told me that a few months ago, or even when I started this thing, I would have said you're crazy. Sorry, just turning off my notifications so you don't hear the dings. But yeah, it's great. And I love all the new people coming in here as much as I can keep you interested and entertained. It's all about comics here. I love comics. I think it's such an amazing art form. I'm a storyteller at heart. Everybody says that who's in some sort of art storytelling medium or industry. But I find that comics are one of those mediums that you can't really compare. Like, I've worked in animation most of my career, and there's definitely overlap in comics and animation, but there's something so unique. You're wearing so many hats when you work in comics, and you don't need a team of 100 people. You could produce a comic all by yourself. And then in that case, you are both the actor, director, character designer, set designer, cinematographer, editor, writer, sound Foley artist. There's just so many hats that you wear as a comic book artist, and it's all contained within a little 9x12 size. So it's so fun, and me rediscovering why I love comics so much. I've always loved comics as a kid, and that's kind of what brought me into animation. But kind of going back to my first love, and just been so excited looking at it with new eyes and sharing it with you all. So that's what we're about here. Mechanoid is here. I just crypt walked my way over here, which is awesome. Ferris Comics is here. How you doing, Ferris Comics? Good to see you again. Sean's sending the horde this way. My man John is here.
He goes, what's your name? He goes, John.
Ever faithful, always bringing his entourage. What's up, John? Mark's Music Obsession says 13 watching and growing. Awesome. Thank you. If anybody can hit that like, thank you so much. It helps all the whatever's algorithms and the metrics and all that kind of stuff. It really does. It's amazing how much data YouTube is tracking, and ultimately they just want people to be on YouTube all the time. So if they can feed you the right kind of stuff and the stuff that will keep you watching, then awesome. And if that's my channel, then even better. So yeah, hit that like, subscribe if you haven't. I'd appreciate it. Cranberry Landers says, this is Rocky's mini reviews of several of his local comic book shops, and also where he prepares for the stream. Oh, so yes. For those of you who are new, usually at the beginning of my stream, I'll throw a couple of trailers that I've edited myself, that I filmed and edited myself, of comic book shops that I've visited. And in this case, local comic book shops. We have about 5 or 6 here in the city that I live in, in San Francisco. And I've done trailers for most of them with the approval of the comic book store owners themselves. And that's a big thing about comic books is I think that experience of going to the shop, and this is why I do my Wednesday comics, it was the first thing that I ever produced for this YouTube channel. It was the first thing I could put a stake in the ground and say, okay, I want to talk about that. And then it slowly turned into this ongoing live stream. But going to that comic book store, and if you have the privilege to be able to go to a comic book store, I know some of you guys are far from comic book stores or don't have one nearby. And I have quite a few, so I don't take that for granted. And I try and make my way around different comic book stores each week just to patronize at different ones and also get to know the owners a little bit more. Because if you've been to any comic book store, you'll know that it kind of, each one takes on its own personality and they have a different vibe. They promote different things, even the way they display books, the way the layout of the store is. It all affects your experience. And then the conversations you have with the people that work there or people you meet there, people who are buying books. There's always that, like, especially on Wednesdays, there's more people than other days because of the new comic books. And so you have this, you do this little dance when you're up at the new comic book rack. And, somebody might be standing in front of you and you're looking for a book and you'll see a book that has like not, a fewer number of issues or like is running out. And so you're like, should I go grab it? And so sometimes some people can be the aggressive one to grab the last copy. Some people will be like, oh, can I get that? And then, you have conversations with people in that. So that whole experience I love and I want to promote. That's why I did those videos, just to promote my local shops. And then just as time has gone, that's expanded to shops that I visit, not just locally, but wherever I end up being. So I've done one in some towns that are in Central California. And I did one of the Cartoon Art Museum, which is local here also. I'm planning on doing more videos that are outside or wider range of the Bay Area than where I am. And then right now I'm editing a video of one of the largest, I think the largest comic book store in America called Mile High Comics in Denver, Colorado. I'm maybe about 75% done with that edit. And so once I'm done with that, and I got to visit that comic book store a few weeks ago, once I'm done with that edit, that will get thrown into the rotation and just so people can see what it's like at Mile High Comics. So yeah, thank you, Cranberry, for explaining that for those people who don't know. And it is also where I prepare for the stream. So as my intro is going, I'm like getting my water ready, getting the mic set up, and it's a bunch of shenanigans happening behind the scenes. Mr. Monkey Boy 1969, his G is stuck, so people help the brother out, whatever that means. Let's see, who else we got here? Everybody's saying hello. Mark's expecting some storms. Trailers are so chilled. Thank you, Timmy Mello. Is my tummy better, Grimson? Yes, I mentioned that in the chat, Mr. Monkey Boy. It is. It's not 100%, but it is much better, so thank you. Whew, I am way behind. All right, let's see. What? Percussion. Okay, lots of cool kids in the chat. Hopefully my resolution is better than Sean's. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with Sean's stream. It's usually not like that. And yeah, it must have been something where he needed a restore. Hopefully my stream's not doing that. But yeah, Sean's streams not notoriously usually look really good and really clear. And I love how close he can get to his artwork. I'm trying to get a better setup. I mean, I'm using kind of older, crappier cameras, not crappier cameras, but older cameras. I haven't invested in a very, very nice overhead camera yet because they're expensive, but I'll get there soon enough. But I know Shant has a really nice one. And so, yeah, that what was going on with the stream was unusual. So hopefully he figures it out. Water yourself. Blight button is waiting to hear from you. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Okay, John's eating some pizza. John loves his pizza. Rocky's got captions on. Awesome, that's working. That was another thing. Hello, Katie. What's up, Katie? Sorry it's taking me so long to get to you.
Say cup of tea.
Cup of tea.
No. A cup of tea.
Katie, our resident friend from the UK. How are you doing, Katie? Awesome One's making French fries. Wow, that's awesome. That is awesome. New week's episode of, yeah, that's why I can say. I don't know, it feels weird calling it an episode, but it is an episode, I guess. Episode. I'm not having an episode. It is an episode, I guess. Okay, let's see. I'm way behind. I'm sorry, you guys. I don't have time to talk. Sound effects time. Yep. Way behind. I can see I'm like halfway to the end. All right, let me just make sure. Let me make sure I'm not missing anybody. Sorry if I'm not getting to what you said. But I think I'm just jumping over all the like ancillary conversation here. It's always great to rub it in that Shantha's closer to the grave, Rocky, as a true friend would. He is. He is. You know, that's why he's Nosfero the Crypt Walker, man. I'm going to create a character called Rocket. No, can't do Rocketto. That's already a character. Ear Pharaoh the Live Liver. I don't know. The Crypt Dodger. Let's see. John, I recommend both Mo Biggs and Timmy Mello for wrenching. John is the wrench police here. All right, we'll do it. Oh, wait. Did I just miss that? We'll do it. We'll do it. Okay, let's see. That means I got to show up on YouTube. Wrenching. I'm pretty generous with the wrenches. However, ever since the what was that guy called? He Who Will Not Be Named event that we had about a couple months ago, and those people who were there know who I'm talking about. I've been a little bit more cautious, but if John recommends you, then you're good. You're good in my books. Okay, so let's see. Timmy Mello. Here we go. Timmy Mello and Mo Biggs. Where are you, Mo Biggs? I gotta find you in the chat. Oh gosh, why didn't you tag him? Oh wait, can I go to participants? I can't even find him. I think Mo Biggs left, John. If Mo Biggs if you are there and you show up again, let me know and I will wrench you. But Timmy Mello, I did see you, so congratulations. Hopefully you see your wrench. Hopefully that worked. It would have worked for Mo Biggs, but that was like 2 days ago when John just recommended you. Sorry. You'll come to learn the more you come to my stream is I can get behind in the chat. I can. I take that as a good sign because that means everybody's talking, they're having a good time, they're chatting, and I myself am having a good time and talking. But yeah, I can get behind. So be patient. I second the wrenching of Mo Biggs, Timmy Mello, and probably Ferris. Oh yeah, Ferris Comics. I'll give you Ferris Comics. You've been totally faithful, but I have to find you in the chat, and if it's already like beyond, I can't backtrack. I can't backtrack in the chat too far. So well, yeah. Yeah, I can only go back. Yeah, I can't go back to where Mo Biggs was or Ferris Comics. Ferris Comics, give me a yo and I will wrench you. The wrenching is what's happening. Timmy Mello says, nice. I got to catch more of these streams. Thank you. Yeah, come on by. We're building it out. Definitely the cornerstones of this channel are my Wednesday comics and then now the master studies. So yeah, we're building it out, and hopefully as the master studies go and continue on, that'll transition into me working on my own stuff on stream. So that'll be awesome. That'll be really good. I can't wait to get there. Breathe. I'm trying. All right. Rocky, just put up the notification post ahead of time and you have to punt it. We get it. That way we aren't relying on YouTube. Well, I do schedule the notifications. I do schedule like I'm going to go live in whatever, 20 minutes or 15 minutes. So I hit go on those. I don't know how to do that. Antoine Dennison, what's up? I feel like I'm cheating on Shant. I won't tell. What happens in Vegas, stays in Vegas. Gonna be to 500, that first paid Rocky membership for me soon. Thanks, Mark's Music Obsession. I appreciate that. Timmy Mello says, thanks for the endorsement, John and Cranberry. Katie will be fast asleep by the time Rocky gets to her chat. It's true. It's really true. Either that or she'll be wide awake. Either. Anton Dennison, people saying, what's up? Katie, she's awake. She's awake. Cranberry Langer says, I'm a storyteller at Kidneys. Wow, I am behind. All right. YouTube is all about the ads. More eyes, more ads, money. Yep. You don't get 2 watching credits for Mom. Bummer. That's okay. I know I got that like from Mom's heart. I got it right here, Mark. And hello to MMO's mom, too. LCS, the local comic book store. Yep, got it. Yep, that's me. Got to see the Cartoon Art Museum sometime. Yeah, you should. If you are in town, definitely check it out. It's not too expensive to go visit. Definitely look at what the exhibit is before you go. Because the exhibits they have like a revolving exhibits. And sometimes their exhibits are hit or miss. But the exhibits that I've gone that I've wanted to see at the Cartoon Art Museum have been amazing. And the last time I went there, which is when I filmed that video, was filmed my Cartoon Art Museum video, was they had an exhibit of Dave Stevens' Rocketeer artwork, which was, I mean, he's one of the tops for me. So to see that, they have an exhibit, which I think is still ongoing, of Filipino comic artists, which included Alfredo Alcala, and some of his originals to look at were stunning, breathtaking. So yeah, that was worth the price of admission in itself. But yeah, just check it out. Make sure you check their current exhibitions and before you go. But it's really cool. It's fun. And it's in a beautiful location. It's facing the bay. And yeah, it's gorgeous. Near the Ghirardelli Square, which is great chocolate and touristy stuff. So yeah. Antoine Dennison says, I may have to head up to Denver for work. I'll have to remember. Yes, Antoine Dennison. Holy cow, you've got to go to Mile High Comics. It was kind of like a religious experience for me in a sense. Like, it was just so big. And I only had 25, 30 minutes. I was on my way to the airport when I got a chance to go by there. But I could have easily spent all day there. And if I had planned it, like certain things I wanted to look for or hunting for, I could have been there for, a long time. So if you have time and ability to, go check it out. It's really a unique experience, and it's quite a sight. Do you have a local comic book shop that Rocky can visit end of October? Do I have a local comic book shop? What are you talking about, Katie? Me? Rocky, I was just looking at your Black Terror illustration. Very strong piece. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah, that was for the Black Terror Von Klaus's fan art contest. That was kind of my first introduction to his work, his stories. And I loved the way that book looked. And I saw, an art contest. I really liked the character and wanted to do my rendition of it. That's my profile picture, by the way, from that fan art contest. So yeah, it was awesome. Entered it, didn't think much of it. And then I actually entered it pretty late. I was like last minute, like crossing the finish line, but was lucky enough to win that contest. So that was fun. That kind of catapulted me thinking like, oh gosh, I really love doing this. I love comics and just watching all these independent artists, creators do stuff on YouTube. That was like one of the kind of key markers of like, and Shanth was even encouraging me throughout that process. And he was like, you got to lean into this. You got to lean into what you're doing in this particular piece. So I was looking, definitely intentionally, I was looking at a lot of Mike Zeck and Michael Golden for those pieces. So those are the ones that I did the master studies for. Huge influences on my work. And then so when I worked on that piece, it kind of came out through it. But thank you so much. Katie, we have a couple left after the pandemic shut down, at least. Oh, are you talking about in Florida? Oh. Am I still behind my 20 minutes? I'm trying. I'm jumping. Yappy episode. It is. Little people hijacked his internet. Shantz? Dang. All right. Okay. I'm jumping. Sorry if I'm skipping stuff. Yes. You guys remember. That was, yes, Emo Trash. You called it out. I'm not going to put it up on screen, but you called it out. That was his name. Good riddance, dude. You are not welcome in this chat anymore. Mo saw that he wasn't a wrench and he left. He feels naked without his wrench. Oh, bummer. Hopefully he comes back. Mo has respect for Rocky, so he can't make fun of him, so he left. Probably. I understand the caution. Thanks, Rocky Ballesteros, and thanks, guys, for the endorsement. Thank you, Timmy Mello. Great to have you on as a wrench. I can get behind. Yes. Ferris Comics. Here he is. Wait, okay, Ferris Comics. Let me see how I get. So this is the whole thing. I gotta find you on. All right. Here we are. I found you. Found you. All right, Ferris Comics. That should work. I think you're a moderator now. I have to catch it on YouTube before it disappears in the chat. Yeah, mods, man. And then we'll have to have super mods. I don't know how we distinguish it. Everybody's gonna be a mod. Antoine Dennison, do you want to be a mod? I have no interest in such things. All right, no problem. There's no difference really, except everybody loves it. I love it. I love the mod squad. It's the wrenching, that's right. But just tell me, Antoine Dennison, no pressure. But if you're interested, I'm happy to do it. Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so behind. Waffler, what? I'm just gonna end the stream and restart it so that I'm back on track. Oh my gosh. What? I have not been muted. John, please stop. Please. That is my greatest fear, and as you OGs know, that has happened to me before. To the point where Shant had to call me on my phone to tell me I was muted. But I think I've matured from that point. I've grown in knowledge and experience from that point. But yeah, I'm just yapping. Rocky had nothing planned for this stream. No, I do have stuff. There we go, Ferris Comics. Wrenched. Awesome. Wrenching 2. Don't chicken out on sharing cat. We love the cat videos. So everybody share them away. I love cat videos. Let's give a shout out. Cranberry Landers. All the new mods. Welcome. It's a fun party here. With great moderating power comes great responsibility. There we go. They do, except when you're muted. Because then it's quiet and then it's really boring. And it's embarrassing. And nobody wants to watch that. So they do. Hey, I caught up, everybody. Take that. Clearly the plan was yapping. Is this called the yappening? Huh? You guys, not all of that stuff that I just got through. It wasn't there. I didn't miss anything. But I'm a nice host, and I like to see what people say. And but I got behind. So all right, we're caught up. We finally did it. We did it. Okay, let's get to it. Let's try and tell people or show people. Okay, hold on. Sorry, I just got to respond to. Sorry, switch to this view. Just got to respond to a text. Boom. Okay, so let's get to. Nice. Everybody's sending cat videos. I love it. I'm not going to watch them because that will distract me even more. But let's show people what I do. the whole point of this business. Sorry, I just want to talk about a couple books that I picked up today. Pretty, shall I say, expected? Yeah, expected of what I was going to pick up today. Scarlett, number 4. This series has been okay for me. It hasn't been like the most exciting series of the Energon universe, but I think I'm just going to follow this one all the way to the end. You guys have seen me review this book before and talk about this book before, and I think it has enough there for me to keep wanting to try it out or keep wanting to follow it. I did notice in this issue that there's quite a bit of Storm Shadow, which is awesome. So, and Marco Ferrari's artwork, it's okay. But we had this discussion when I went over the last issue of some people did not like his artwork as much because it has a manga influence to it. I agree, and for sure I don't like faux manga style artwork, but I do feel like he brings enough of his own style into it to give it a little bit of a different feel to it. Otherwise, if it was straight up manga copying, I probably wouldn't pick it up. I do like how it's kind of loose, and maybe it's the coloring that feels a little different too, but it feels a little bit more Euro than a typical manga book. So like here, you know, her eyes, yes, they have kind of like a manga influence to it, but they're not like huge, like exaggerated Japanese style eye drawing here. They do kind of have a little bit more realistic proportions. So yeah, there's enough there for me to actually hold on to it. One of the things I did mention in the last issue, which was 3, was they're kind of dragging on the plot a little bit here. A little bit. They're kind of dragging it out more than I would hope. And the main plot was like Scarlett's trying to infiltrate this organization. Jinx is on the inside, and they keep talking about how they have this friendship, relationship prior to this all happening and trying to reconnect. So they've dragged that out over since pretty much issue 1 it was set up. So it seems like here they're finally meeting and kind of connecting, which will be cool. I haven't read this yet, so I don't know what they're going to connect and how they're going to talk about where the plot is going to go now that they've connected. But it's like a 2-prong approach to infiltrating this enemy. 2-prong approach. Oh my gosh, there's so many. Look, there's cat videos coming in now, which is amazing. The amount of time I look at cat videos is a little unhealthy, but you know, you got to have stuff that makes you smile every now and then. So thank you, everybody. I will be referencing all of those later. Awesome One says he's proud of the chat, proud for bringing the cat love into. Would the mail section in the back of the comic be the Scarlet letters? Oh, that's a good one. Nope, they didn't name it. That's a good one, though. Cranberry Landers, I love that. Good pun. Emo trash. Dang. You can review the entire books of the Master Study pages, Rocky. That would be cool. You mean the books that I get the pages from? Yeah, that would be cool. I'll think about that, Mark. That would be awesome. Lots of fighting, lots of action in this. This artist, Marco Ferrari, does this a lot. These like multiple, this is actually an interesting angle. Multiple moments happening in one image. So here's Scarlett, here's Scarlett, here's Scarlett, over here is Scarlett, which is kind of a cool comic book thing. The problem I have, and he's done this in a previous issue, the problem I have with his execution on that is you kind of don't know the right progression of where to look. Maybe that's the point. Maybe this one's the point. They're just fighting all the time, but it can become, if you don't know that they're different moments and the order of the moments you are reading them, So, like, Frank Miller does it really well, where he uses this technique of drawing several poses of a character in one panel, and you get the feeling of whatever action is happening is progressing, but you know where it starts and where it ends. And that's a great comic book that you can only do in comic books, really. Excuse me. But here, I have no idea what comes first, what's the end goal. It just feels like a huge crowd fight. And then I'm like, well, why are there many Scarlets? Oh, okay, they're multiple time periods, but then why are we showing multiple time periods? So yeah, it's a little confusing. He's done this a number of times in this book, and this is another one. The angle's cool though, but like I love how extreme in the foreground she is here. We're kind of looking down the room, but yeah, you don't know where it ends. Here's Storm Shadow multiple times, I guess, but then yeah, it's a little confusing, or a lot confusing. And then the end says next Cobra Commander, so I'm guessing next issue is the last one. These comics are pretty short. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Yeah, 20 pages. And then they have like a secondary story here that they're advertising. In this particular case, it's an Ultra Mega story from, or issue of Ultra Mega they're advertising from James Herron. But because they do that, they add these extra pages in there. It cuts this short. I always feel like I'm like, I wish it kind of had a few more pages. Anyway, there it is, Scarlett number 4. We'll carry this one through to the end. It's like once they get you at least, there's not many series that I get that I go to. If I make it past 50% of the series, whatever the limited series numbers amount, usually if I make it past 50, I'll probably hang on to the end. Because then it's like, well, then I'm just missing 1 or 2 issues and that'll bug me. Maybe it's OCD, but so yeah, I'll finish this to the end if it's the last one's 5, which I think it is. So Scarlett number 4. Cat videos are the best unhealthy obsession. It's true. Art is pretty neat and has a good flow to it. Yeah, for the most part. There's some, if I had to sit down really close and look, there's definitely some storytelling things in it that just make me, that are a little clunky. But it moves. At least it's not a lot of talking head stuff, which you find in many comics these days. It definitely moves and was more action oriented. And the angle that they're taking with Scarlett, they're kind of pushing this whole miniseries, is the espionage angle, the like behind the scenes spy kind of stuff. So I do like that. Wait, this is yes. Thank you. Your comment on my suggestion has made me go red. Yes. Oh, Cranberry. You should have stopped at Scarlet Letter. They used to make those progressions in Daredevil. Exactly. It doesn't work here, in my opinion. It looks like multiple people. Thank you. Yes, exactly, Antoine Dennison. Always bringing the knowledge. Frank Miller was a master in doing that a lot. Does need a sequential direction unless spontaneous cloning is her superpower. That's a good one. They actually do it at least one independent. I forget the title though. It's awesome as I'm a fan of those. They actually do in at least one independent. Page 1. What is on her knees? Whoa, dare I look? Knee pads? Kind of. Let me, the funny thing is if you zoom in here, which I'll do, it's like the artist, if you can see that, the artist didn't even draw, he just drew like the exterior here, but didn't finish it off. Maybe he was intending it all to be red, and then the colorist like separated him out. I don't know, it's weird. It is a weird design. They should have just given her high boot. Wow, she's got these like, oh, she's got these knife boots too. Look at these weird Knife boots. Don't know. Don't know. Rocky, can you read it with voices? Oh boy. No. No. I cannot. Not unless they're British voices. Knee pads are hip among young people. The pacing in manga is much quicker, but it works when you've got a larger book. Yeah. Emo Trash is back. Do your homework, then work on your application for Mount Vernon. Wow, good memory, awesome one. Emo Trash, for those of you who don't know, was loving the idea of working at Mount Vernon. That would be amazing. I will not apologize for my terrible pun. No apologies necessary. Do you have a cat? If so, what's her name? I do have a cat. I have 2 cats. Their names will be... We'll keep those close. We'll keep those hidden right now. Antoine Dennison. Not that I care of any privacy. I don't know. We'll keep it. But I do have 2 cats. They are Siberian color point cats, which are these really fluffy, cute, blue-eyed cats. And they're brothers. Working at Mount Vernon doesn't work with my schedule, probably at least till after I graduate. But I can dream. That's right. Awesome. Knife boots make for an interesting yet challengingly lethal quick sequence. Yes. I think they work in the middle of a fight, but other than that, they look really weird and awkward. Same with the knee pads. Have to take phone call. Good night, everyone. Good night, Ferris Comics. Thank you for showing up. Welcome to the Wrench, the mod squad, and congratulations on your ranch. Have a good day. See you next time. Rocky's cats talk. They like to talk. They do. Antoine, you keep coming on the stream. You'll meet them as they. If they're in the room with me, which they're not right now, but sometimes they'll sleep in the same room that I stream. And if I cough or sneeze, they will start talking. Or if it's dinner time, they will start yelling and talking. One of them will yell in particular. So yeah, they've got lots of personality. This is the other book I picked up today, Rook Exodus number 5. I've been loving the Ghost Machine books. I think probably the first arc is coming to a close on the first 3 title ships or books, Geiger, Redcoat, and Rook Exodus. This one was a little late. I thought this one was coming out last week, but it came out this week. Haven't looked at it yet, but the quality always grabs you from the shelf. I don't know sales-wise how they're doing, but I think they're doing really well. And every reviewer that I've watched or comic book store channel that I watch tend to have good things to say about the Ghost Machine books. So yeah, they're doing great. I think they just, like, Jeff Johns' writing is really good, and the artwork on all of these. This is Jason Fabok in Rook Exodus. Geiger is Gary Frank, and Redcoat is Brian Hitch. And those guys are just at the top of their game, and they're cranking it out at a regular basis. So it's impressive. I've said this before too, and it's worth mentioning. The colorist on all 3 books is Brad Anderson, and he's fantastic. Really works with their styles. You would say that Brian Hitch, Jason Fabok, and Gary Frank, all of their styles kind of live in the same world. They feel very similar, not in a bad way, but that they can kind of all work in the same universe. And I think that's why Brad Anderson's colors all work with all these guys. I find that the line work on Rook Exodus is really complicated too. There's a lot of drawing in it, and so the way that Brad Anderson colors the stuff has been so good and really helps the artwork sing. They've been establishing this for a long time, the main character, Rook, how he has the power to, like, communicate with these crows, or the rooks, I guess is another term for crows, but he doesn't really like them, and they're kind of like not helpful to him. So I think that's kind of coming to an head where what looks like it is, where it's like not totally working out. think he's flashbacking here back to his farm, his childhood farm, where it got set in flames. This is cool. This kind of gives me like Miyazaki vibes. This huge telepathic boar. That's great. Great layout. Great sound effect right there. This huge cliff, and you have the caw right on the edge of the cliff. But yeah, these colors are really nice. Really beautiful, beautiful palette. You can feel the heat coming off of those flames up here, and then like kind of the cool air, the mountains, the snowy mountains in the background. What are you guys talking about? I've had a boar chase a friend as he tried to jump into our Jeep as we drove through the dark woods one. I heard boars are pretty, my brother-in-law who goes hunting was talking about hunting wild boar, and, you know, immediately they're like, oh, you know, there's like pigs and aren't they friendly? He's like, no, they are straight up gnarly rodents. So they are not kind at all. And they're not kind to farmers or like farmland. And so when he has to go hunting for them, like the people that send them whatever to go hunting for them, like they're happy that they're being hunted. This is cool. I've said this before about this series. I love the design of this helmet and all the helmet designs of these characters. These helmets, these are amazing. Wow, this is short. Let's see how many pages this one is. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Nope, 20 pages, just like Scarlett. And then they have this like secondary section here. Yep, I think that's the end of the first arc. Next issue, it all comes down to this Ursa versus Rook, the brawl for it all. October. And then now I just noticed on, that's funny, his name's Pumbaa. I just noticed that all of their next wave of titles, Ghost Machine's titles, Hyde Street, Hornsby and Halo, and Devour, oh yeah, maybe even Rockefellers, those are all kind of coming up next, more along the horror genre. So that's not my cup of tea, Katie. That's not my cup of tea necessarily, but I will look through them and see if they're worth picking up. But yeah, they've been advertising those more and more as the next wave from Ghost Machine. These are the other two books, Geiger and Redcoat, and then Ghost Machine Coffee for some weird reason. Cool. The quality, the standard has never dropped on these, and the stories kept me in, so I am a fan of Ghost Machine and definitely of Rook Exodus. So that's Rook Exodus number 5. The USS Constitution ornament. Okay. Alfred Hitchcock would be proud of that panel. Yeah, I reviewed this book before. Yep. Yeah, I did a closer look video. There's sometimes I'll do for the new visitors, new subscribers, huh? Come on. But I have done, I usually, or not usually, sometimes I'll do a video. I'll call it my closer look videos, where I will take one book and do a deeper dive. So I'll kind of go through each page and go through panel by panel what I feel like is working, what is not working. Sometimes I'll draw a little thumbnail redraw of like, oh, if they just changed this composition here, just on my opinion. And then at the end of it, I'll do a wrap up where I give kind of a scale on the 1 to 5 of story. My categories are story, world, characters, and art. I'll give a scale 1 to 5, 1 being the least, 5 being the most, of what I think of that book. It's like just a deeper review per book. And I have done one of Rook Exodus before. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's called My Closer Look, Rook Exodus. And I think it's probably in the My Wednesday Comics playlist. The last book that I did a closer look on was the last book I did? Oh, Uncanny X-Men #1, the one that just came out. That was fun. That was a really interesting, fun review, and I was glad I was able to kind of take the time to go over that book and review it. All right, so this, like I had mentioned at the beginning of the stream, this is something that came in the mail, and I haven't opened it yet, but I'm pretty sure I know what it is. Look, John, I'm using scissors this time as opposed to that janky blade that I normally use. I'm always nervous I think I need to pull out the janky blade. What I need to do is just replace the blade as opposed to use this unsharpened one. Yep. All right, cool. This is what I thought it was. All right, here we go. Matt Wagner's Grendel Omnibus Volume 2. Let me zoom out just a hair. Timmy Mello says, I picture the boar's internal telepathic dialogue to be voiced by... Right. That would be amazing. I believe the voice actor's name was Ernie Sabella, and he had such a distinct voice. So yeah, that would be amazing. In this like dark, serious, post-apocalyptic world to hear his voice. Be like, hey, Timon! Hey, Rook Exodus! The colors on those books really stood out for me as well. Yes. Yeah, Brad Anderson's good. If I had to, the colorists that I tend to love are either ones that do very, very unusual, not like very stylized treatment of colors, or those that do colors that lean more towards the original kind of coloring of comics. So the limited palettes and, they were just using all sorts of techniques before because there was limitations to printing. The colorists that go like full bore, no pun intended, but full bore on like, hey, I've got every Crayola in the crayon box and I'm just going to color everything, every highlight, every, rim light, every shadow, every, all the kind of stuff. That stuff like just almost gets like every lens flare and blur, like it just gets to be way too much for me, and it doesn't, I don't know, it loses a little bit. It starts looking like photographs, which I get it, they're trying to be more quote unquote realistic, but yeah, I tend to not like colors that do that. You could argue that Brad Anderson colors stuff very realistically and he knows lighting really well, like the principles of lighting and stuff, but he has such a stylization and he does it in such a beautiful, his palettes that he picks are really beautiful. And even when he does effects in his coloring, it's not overdone. It's like really just letting the color do the effect as opposed to like Photoshop. And I've liked his colors, and I've kind of seen him color other stuff too, outside of this Ghost Machine stuff, like early on the other stuff that he's been working with in with these artists, like with Jason Fabok, he was coloring some of the Batman stuff that he was doing, and it was great. So yeah, I really like him as a colorist. He's one of the newer colorists that I've discovered that I tend to consistently like what he does. Don't ask questions. Boars are nasty critters. They destroy everything. Yes. Yes. Yep. Whatever, like just unwanted animal things. Rodents. Yes, they are swine. Boars aren't kind to hunters. Who knew? Hunting the wild ones, boar, is dangerous, Rocky. Have known of several bad injuries, a couple of hunting dogs killed. Oh, really? We used to trap them in large cages as opposed to hunting them. I don't know all the details of my brother-in-law doing that. I can't remember if it was one of the trips that he went where he was perched like in a tree and just waiting there. I can't remember if that was deer hunting. I don't know. But yeah, so I don't know the whole that. I just do remember him talking about hunting boar though. They are a rodent in a swine's body. Yeah, I heard pigs are really, add a bit of wolf for cunningness. I heard pigs are really smart, so I'm assuming boars probably have some of that too. So yeah. I'm not a pro hunting kind of person, but I'm just relaying information. Antoine Dennison says, Rook looks interesting, but it reminds me of a toy line. It does. And I had that same hesitation when I first saw the book, especially with all the helmets and stuff, but it reminded me of Battle Beasts, or what was the other one? Some sort of elemental toy line when I was growing up, where you would like press on the heat sensitive sticker and you would see what element team you were part of. So I did have that hesitation, but it's a great story and the characters are very strong, and just all those designs, like those designs they could go badly very quickly. They could go Power Rangers very quickly, but they are so cool. The animal helmet designs are really cool, and the personalities that Jeff Johns writes for the people that wear the helmets. So yeah, it doesn't go cheesy toy line at all, but it does kind of touch into it. So there's stuff that I think the positive stuff that those toy lines brought and the cool factor of that it does have, but it doesn't go cheesy. Oh my gosh. Cranberry. Little Bird is being nice to me today. What's the occasion? It's Wednesday. Yeah, I don't know. Good job, Louie. Katie is sleeping now. She falls asleep during this stream sometimes. I don't take it personally, though maybe I should. Louie's crack is downstairs. Ain't got none on me. Ciao, Katie, if you're unconscious. All right, let's see. Woman Grendel. That's right. Here we go. I'm catching back up. Woman name Grendel rings a bell. Yes. Grendel was the first monster in all literature. Is it true? All literature? Is that right? I know it's very influential, the term Grendel, or the character Grendel, but Grendel, the comic character, has been around since either the early 90s or the 80s. Yeah, for sure. Yes, it is. And so Matt Wagner's whole idea with Grendel was, what if I took the villain and made him the hero of the story, or the main character in the story? So this was before anti-heroes became popular. Like, I mean, everybody who is an anti-hero now is the hero. But this was before that was popular. And so he wrote the character Hunter Rose as Grendel, and then Grendel fought oh my gosh, what is the name of the wolf character? Let me go get the book. I already went through this in a past stream, but we'll just recap here. This was the original Grendel story, Deviled by the Deed, that Matt Wagner did. And I looked through this one in another stream, but just as a recap. So this one first came out in 86. And yeah, so Grendel, the name came from the story Beowulf. But in this story, Grendel is Hunter Rose, and he's just a bad dude. He's rich. He's basically like Batman, but like a horrible person. And then this demon character is Argent. I believe it's Argent is his name. Yeah. Yes. But he's the good guy in the story. So so yeah, he flipped it on its head, the archetypes, and created this character Grendel. So that Dark Horse? Dark Horse compiled all the first arc of Hunter Rose into the Omnibus 1. And so there's a bunch of short stories. There's this story, Devil by the Deed. There's, I can't remember. I didn't even pick that one up. But the reason I picked this one up is because it deals with the second arc of Grendel, which is the daughter of Grendel. And her name is it Stacy? Yes, I think it's Stacy. And I'm sorry, Christine Spar takes up the mantle of Grendel. So she takes up the identity of Grendel. And so this is the female version. And the reason why I picked up this omnibus is because this is kind of our introduction to the Pander brothers, who were I think they're Dutch in ethnicity, Arnold and Jacob Pander, where they started working on this series. And I really like their interpretation of Grendel. Actually, this first story that they have in here is Tim Sale, who's great. Really good. Tim Sale from The Long Halloween and Long Halloween, a whole bunch of stuff. Dark Victory. Sorry, my memory is just going blank. He worked on Death Blow, but Tim Sale, rest in peace, he died a couple years ago. Fantastic artist. So he worked on Grendel as well. And then the Pander brothers did this whole arc called Devil's Legacy. And that's why I wanted to pick it up, just to have all their work together in one shebang. It's funny, they have this like 80s style to their work. It's a little bit more cartoony. I know I've seen interviews with them. They were influenced by like Nagel art. I just loved how stylized with it. It reminded me a little bit of Aeon Flux too, which is another stylistic cartoon that I love and have been influenced by. I love this. I love that Grendel could be female and that her take was a little different than Hunter Rose's. Oh, I didn't realize it took place in San Francisco. So I've never read this arc before. I've only seen like comics here and there, you know, bits and pieces here and there, but I've never read the whole story arc. So, and then I think in this compilation, yes. So there's another artist in here. His name is Bernie Moreau. And he did a story as well. Here's his stuff. Yeah, this is Bernie Moreau. He just passed away on Monday, I heard. I heard he committed suicide, which is really tragic. But yeah, this is Bernie Moreau's, but it kind of has more of an indie vibe to it. I just admire Matt White. Yeah, he did this rendition of Grendel. I feel like this like stitched mask. It's crazy. I just so there's a few things that I love about the idea of Grendel. One, as a lot of you regulars know, I've been just in looking at comics and studying independent comics and stuff. I've been so inspired by what has been done in the past. So books like The Crow, Grips, Tim Vigil's Grips, Matt Wagner's stuff. Just people that have done things that have been different than mainstream comics. And as much as I love mainstream comics, it's just cool to see what independents were able to do and when they did it and how they did it and kind of how it was produced. And the thing I love about Matt Wagner is he has been able to like ride that line of working in mainstream comics. So he's worked on big mainstream stuff like Marvel and or maybe he hasn't worked with Marvel, but definitely DC stuff, Batman, and yet still maintain working on his independent work like Grendel and own the rights to do it. And his Grendel book is so revolutionary because he wrote these different stories that take place during different time periods and different genres. And then he also hired artists that have different styles that worked on it and employed them to kind of inject their own flavor into these things. It launched careers through working on Matt Wagner's stuff. So not only is he being an independent, but his IP and his creative drive is building the market, the independent market as well, and helping out artists, independent artists and creators. So it's awesome. And then he has a character that just kind of, he has a character that has lasting power. It's not just a flash in the pan kind of weird independent gimmick. It's like, this is a cool character that people remember and made its mark on comics, even though it wasn't in the mainstream. Okay, let's see. Let me get some of this chat. The lore on Grendel and his mother is pretty interesting, where they both are tied to the lineage of Cain, according to the Beowulf story. Cool. That is cool. Did you guys ever... I never read Beowulf. Did you guys ever watch that horrible motion-captured movie? I think Robert Zemeckis worked on it. Robert Zemeckis is one of the greatest directors of all time, but like... yeah, that was when like motion capture was like very popular, and they did that movie Beowulf. I never watched it. We read Beowulf senior year in high school. Okay, yeah, I never read it. What was up with my high school? I didn't get to read cool stuff like Beowulf. I think I was reading like The Great Gatsby, and what else did we read? David Copperfield, those kind of books. When it comes to the first written monster, the Epic of Gilgamesh's Humbaba might have that title next to Enkidu. Then again, everyone in that story are particular monsters in might. Wow, Timmy Mello. Now I know why you are from hanging out and a regular Enchant stream. You sound very well read with this kind of stuff. He buffering, or is it me this time? Am I buffering? Dang it. I hope not. Cranberry Lander says it's you. So hopefully it's not me. Minecraft World is calling me. Emo Trash, do you know they're making a Minecraft movie? I just saw that the other day. I was like, what? Batman Long Halloween. Yes. Tim Sale is great. Antoine Dennis says, as I remember the Panda Brothers, their stuff was so distinct and refreshing. Yes. Antoine Dennison, do you know that the Panda Brothers have a YouTube channel? They don't post. I subscribed to it maybe about 3 weeks ago, maybe almost a month ago when I found it. High quality videos they're producing, but it doesn't seem like they're posting regularly. Maybe because it takes a lot of time for them to produce them. Because I know one of them, if not both of them, are filmmakers as well. So they kind of take a lot of pride in the craft of producing a good video piece. But yeah, that discovering their YouTube channel got me remembering about their work, and then got me on this track of ordering this omnibus. It was directly related to that. So if you haven't discovered the Panda Brothers YouTube channel, I recommend subscribing. Might stay to the end of this book or next. Yeah, this is the last book I got. Reminds me of Aeon Flux. Minecraft. I see the similarities, but these guys predate that animation. Yes. I think that Aeon Flux was... Yeah, I think Aeon Flux was in the... Let's see. This came out originally... I guess so. If this was like mid-90s, late 80s, mid-90s... Seems like this was like mid-90s, mid to late 90s. That was around the time. I don't know who officially came first, but there's similarities for sure. Aeon Flux is amazing. Peter Chung is amazing. That guy is an auteur, if there ever was one. And I almost wish he had a YouTube show. He was posting regularly on Instagram for a while with some videos. He's done some interviews here and there, but I think he's predominantly teaching and working in Korean animation. But that guy's so good, and he's got such a incredible critical brain when it comes to animation and filmmaking in general. So he's awesome. He's scary too. He seems like scary hard to work for. I don't think I read that take on the story, at least not yet. Minecraft. Yeah, I don't know anything about Minecraft. I won't watch their YouTube channel because I don't want to pander them. Dang. You guys are good with the puns today. Good with the puns. That I should keep like a tally meter, like dad puns or something. I don't know if... I know some of you guys are not dads, but... or just puns in general. I should keep a tally, an ongoing tally on my streams. That's a good one. That's right. We got it. I love it. Like Matt Wagner's Grendel. It tells the tale of Beowulf from Grendel's perspective. Yeah. And it's cool. You know, it's like he was doing anti-hero when anti-hero wasn't cool. And I think that was a big part of the appeal of Grendel. This like living out this fantasy of like, ooh, if I was the bad guy, like what would I do? Or if I didn't have moral standards, how would I handle people that were my enemies, right? That's the similar kind of thing, that fantasy that you play out when you read a book like The Crow. It's like, if somebody wronged me and I had no morality that kept me in check from not going berserk on them, what would I do? And that's kind of like living that through The Crow. And I feel like Grendel's a little bit like that too. And I haven't read this arc, but as long as this character has that you can relate to her struggle and her choices, then I think that's a win. It's only when characters are just straight up horrible all the time for a long period of time and you don't... Wow, that is not a great drawing. Or not a great jacket, I should say. When you can't connect, whether they're right or wrong, what we can't understand the choices they make, and they're just evil for the sake of being evil, for the gratuitousness of it, then that's where you lose me. And some of these books can get that way. Some of these stories can get that way. I do like in this arc of Grendel, I don't think it was so much in the Hunter Rose one, but it does go a little sci-fi which is kind of neat. Kind of futuristic sci-fi. These hairstyles. They're just going full on with the 80s hairstyles. With that Beowulf movie, I do remember Angelina Jolie. Yes, yes. That's right. I think that was probably the only reason people went to go watch that movie, because they were like, whoa, it's going to be Angelina Jolie, but her character is like not wearing any clothes. I've known of the Minecraft movie since around the time of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie came out. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I've never really ever gotten into Minecraft, so I don't have any opinion one way or the other. I guess since Hollywood was willing to try and make an emoji movie, I shouldn't be surprised that they're trying to make a Minecraft movie. The one movie that just put a huge question mark on above my head when I saw it was, or not saw it, but saw it advertised, was that movie. I don't know the title of it, but it's the Lego movie that's about Pharrell, his biography basically, but told in Lego. I was like, what the? Like, I don't understand this at all. The connection of doing this in Lego. Who knows? Maybe it'll be a hit. This is cool. Cool spread. Yeah, like this kind of coloring. I love this kind of coloring. It's like very flat, but moody, stylized. This guy looks like he could be right out of a Aeon Flux. And I feel like as it goes on, the Panda Brothers really, they started settling into their style, their level of exaggeration. This is awesome. I'd love to see this in black and white too. And that mask, that Matt Wagner design, that Grendel mask, it's so iconic. It's so cool. And when he uses it on different characters, he did a Grendel anthology. This is included in the first Omnibus, is this Grendel anthology. I remember they came out in individual issues. I think it was like one of those like black, white, and red or something. And so he got different artists to do different Grendel stories. But the awesome thing was that is everybody had their own style. Everybody had their own story they were telling. But every time you saw that symbol, that Grendel mask symbol anywhere, you totally like connect it with Grendel. And that's a win as far as a design, a good design. It just speaks Grendel. So iconic. These are cool. It almost feels animated. Yeah, I'd be curious to find out if they were influenced by Peter Chung or vice versa. My guess is they would be influenced by Peter Chung. I feel like Peter Chung is more influenced by anime stuff. And I know he was a huge fan of the German painter Egon Schiele, which maybe these guys were too. Maybe they looked at the same influences. Based on the trailer I saw today, it seems there might be an obligatory tranny in the cast. But they did cast Jack Black as Steve, so I'm still fairly intrigued. Oh boy. Look up that book and the author and see if I can get it on audio or Kindle. Antoine Dennison. True, I'm not a dad, but I love the process. The puns, yeah. It just comes. It just comes when it comes, man. Sometimes I'll hear a pun, and in my brain I'll be like, don't say it, don't say it. But then my heart will be like, just let it free. Let it be free. It always lands. It's cool. Wow, this is a long arc. I don't know how many issues this is compiling. It's really long. It's cool. Just totally different than the Hunter Rose story, and that's what I like it, but it's still Grendel. Kind of digging that demon's design, yeah. We lost old-fashioned villains like that. Most villains are made too sympathetic rather than being an actual villain of the story for the sake of it to help elevate the importance of the hero. Yeah, it's true. Hello. Yeah, it's true. So then it gets confusing. Then it's like all those like clear lines of good and evil get very blurred. I think that's with everybody overdoing the anti-hero hero stuff. Like, it's cool to be bad. That's nice. Nice lettering right there. Yeah, that's cool. I'm guessing the Panda Brothers did this lettering as opposed to a letterer coming in. Look at that. It's cool. It's really cool stuff. Glad that they have it all compiled here. I had mentioned another series that the Pander's brother did way after this called Triple X. Oh no, yeah, it used to be called Triple X, I think, and then they changed the name to Dissident X. And I haven't read it yet, but I bought that series as well. It doesn't seem, I think it came out after this. It doesn't seem as stylized. It seems like they dialed back the stylization a little bit, made it more realistic. This is the Bernie Moreau stuff, which his artwork doesn't totally appeal to me as much as the Panda Brothers story. But it's kind of sad that he just committed suicide. Wow, this is a hard read right here. All these tiny little panels. My goodness. That's great. This feels like a Matt Wagner story. I don't think this is Bernie. This feels like Matt Wagner. Bernie Moreau? Yes. He just colored it, but this is Matt Wagner. Matt Wagner loves doing these like tiny talky panels. I love that drawing though. This reads a lot like a Spider-Man in the 90s comics. Maybe that's why I like it. Always liked Grendel's mask. Yep. Is this still Panda Brothers art? It looks like it's changing. If I'm probably behind, but not this stuff here. Probably behind in the chat. Up to here it was. So yeah, this is still Pandas. But right here is where it changes. This is the end of the whole Panda Brothers run right now. This stuff is Matt Wagner. Sometimes with Matt, he can get a very wordy and like story, too much like yabba yabba. Kind of like me on stream. But yeah, like this kind of stuff. It's cool that he's like pushing the bounds and stuff, but sometimes it loses me a little bit. I just love that he's pushing it, always trying something new. One of the versions of Grendel he does is like this super futurist. This one. This is Omnibus 4. And he goes into the future. I think this one he's like a priest or something. This one, oh yeah, Devil's Odyssey, Grendel Prime. He's like the Terminator a little bit. There you go. Grendel's Omnibus. Grendel is free on Audible. Oh, the original Grendel. Cool. Some men just want to watch the world burn. As they say, some villains can't be reasoned with or reached, or if anything, they may play on that and abuse the hero's compassion to elevate the stakes. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Those ripping off who with that? Who's ripping off who with that Mr. Sinister look of Grendel in that overcoat? With those like huge shoulders. Yeah, some people hate society like destruction. Like Louis. This damn bird is like a personal flurry. John says, hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. Wow. Woo. This is getting all deep. This is the Shant level of deepness. I'm all like, am I muted? We talking about rodents? A concept of deceit needs to be reintroduced to pop media. I like that. John says, amen. Amen. Most writers identify with the bad guys now, so you'd have to force them to be truthful. Yeah, I think like good guys just aren't as cool or attractive anymore. They're always weaker or lame. People like, it's like they like the bad boy on the motorcycle kind of thing, and we don't have those heroes to look up to that are making the right choices, growing and serving community and serving their families, or we don't have exciting stories with those aspirational heroes as much anymore. So I think comics used to do that for us. The origins of those characters used to do that. They would lift us up out of the mire of our everyday or the reality of what we'd see in society and give us something to strive for. I just read a Marvel fanfare story that I had picked it up one of my Wednesdays ago, and I shared it with Stream, but it was a Marvel fanfare number 18, written and drawn by Frank Miller. And it's a pretty dark story about how and it's so funny because it's like really relatable. You can see how it can be so relatable to now. And the premise of the story is there is just these horrible fires, arsons going on all over the city, and people don't know who is responsible for it, but they're leaving ransom notes and saying, if you don't give us what we need, or you don't give us $6 million, we're going to start another fire and we're going to start hurting people. And they called themselves, I guess, the Brotherhood. And so the police are stumped. They don't know what's going on. And come to find, the story starts revealing that these people are just middle-class workers. They're just trying as hard as they can to survive. And they feel like the government is not supporting them. Life is not supporting them. And they come from all walks of life. So one of them's a police officer. One of them is a construction worker. And they are having these meetings where they band together and they say, okay, well, we're going to set fire to this building, blah, blah, blah. And, we're going to force society to help us out or give us what we need because nobody's looking out for us. So it's kind of dark, but you can see how that's the messaging that we hear in today's world as well. And some people are living that struggle as well. But Captain America is in the middle of it, and he's kind of observing it from afar and also trying to help people and Frank Miller puts him in these situations where he is like sacrificing himself, jumping into flaming buildings, like helping kids. And at one point in the story, one of the main characters who's the leader of this group, Captain America first sees him as like, he's a family man. He's got 2 kids and like, wow, he's got everything in the world. And he even says something to the effect of like, I wish I could have that life. He's like, but I can't, I'm Captain America. And, I have to serve my country and help others. But man, I wish I could be normal. and he kind of goes on from it, but you don't know that this guy is actually, well, you do know, but you don't, Captain America doesn't know that this guy is actually the ringleader to the Brotherhood. So then when it's revealed at the end, it's this super sad moment where Captain America is like, cannot believe that this guy is throwing away his life for money and for kind of the notoriety of it all, and just throwing away everything that he has. And he's trying to convince this guy. The guy, tragically at the end, doesn't listen to Captain America, tries to kill him, ends up getting killed himself and dying in this flaming building. It's really bad and really dark. And but at the end of the day, Captain America is like, there are things that are greater than us, and they're hard choices that we have to make. And he kind of stays consistently Captain America through the whole thing, in spite of seeing this very tragic decisions play out in front of him. So I don't know. I know that Captain America is one of those characters, and before they did all the things where they're changing him and he's part of Hydra and all that kind of stuff, like before that, he was just such an aspirational, like, wow, regardless of what you like or whether you're patriotic or not, like he instilled this like greater good that you would want to be and be for the fellow man and for your country. And we need more characters like that. I think it's so looked down upon to have those kind of beliefs now that it's hard to have characters that are inspiring. And so yeah, it's kind of sad. But it was very clear in this one of like what Frank Miller was trying to do and the story he was trying to tell. Antoine Dennison says, looking at all those tiny panels is going to make me self-delete. Yeah. Even comics test out their material in smaller crowds first. Yeah. That's terrifying because it gives insight of their worldview. They identify with evil because many of those people, should they have powers, would act out those same crimes. Yes. I think there's room. Maybe I'm wrong in thinking this, but I think there's room in fantasy, and whether you're fantasizing of like becoming greater than what you are or being the better you or whatever, or you're fantasizing about the dark sides of your soul, I think that's what entertainment is for. So that you don't act out those things, at least the dark things in real life. So yeah, I don't know. It appeals to something, not that I want to be the Crow and like shoot up bad guys, but it does appeal to something of like, like, yes, everybody feels that. Everybody feels the wrong or injustice. And if this horrible thing happened to you, it's why movies like, what's that movie with Liam Neeson? Oh gosh, it's not Ransom. Liam Neeson. Oh my goodness. Come on, brain, work. Geez. Liam Neeson. You know what movie I'm talking about, where his daughter gets kidnapped. I know you guys are saying it. I am missing it. What is the name of that movie? Taken. In Taken, and it's like, if somebody took my daughter, like kidnapped her and put her through what she did, it's like your brain fantasizes like, what would you do? And he kind of did everything that everybody wished they could do. And yet he had the skills of a super spy to do them, but kind of played into that fantasy. Emo Trash. What is going on with you, Emo Trash? Sounds. I just hear like bird noises and like cat screams going on in your corner of the universe. Art and Times of Jay Ryan, what up, man?
It's actually a really good sculpt.
Damn, this is a 24/7 Grendel channel now. This will be the last I'll talk about Grendel for a while, until I talk about that new series that he's doing, or when that one comes out in trade, which I will probably pick up. But this will be the last I talk of Grendel. This one finally came, and I just was looking through it. So, but welcome, man. I heard a story from Greybeards when many great works ended badly because the contract ended before the series did, so they just use a cheaper artist to end a series. Yeah, I could see that. With a busty cover like that, who can turn down a good Grendel comic? There you go. There you go. Good framing right there. I love this, like pulling up the mask too. It's kind of cool. Cap was just chopping onions. That's right. That is right. That's the start of V for Vendetta. Oh, okay. Yeah, right. That's right. I actually should read that. The artwork in V for Vendetta. I know that was all coming out at the same time as like Watchmen, but the artwork for V for Vendetta never grabbed me. And even every time I go back to it and say, "Oh, I should read that again," I'm like, "Oh," the artwork always like, "Well, it's all right." Heroes, villains, I think we're all fooling ourselves. We want violence cloaked in the veil of self-righteousness. No one is reading superhero comics to watch kittens pulled out of trees. It's true. Yeah, it's true. That's a good point. This is happening in UK. You speak bad about a certain people and you're arrested. Crazy UK. What's going on, Katie? I know Katie's probably asleep, but what is going on there? The Serpent Society? Apparently, Chris Evans hated that role, which isn't surprising knowing who he is, but still a shame. The Captain America role? Really? He was so good at that, though. I thought he was great at that role. Did you guys see him in Deadpool? So funny. His reveal in that one was hilarious. I don't think wanting a guy character who's aspirational gives you a perfect image of yourself. Part of this is struggling against your own thorns in the flesh. Writers are just lazy and subversive. I don't give them a pass. No need to understand evil. All right. Back watching kinda, but have been listening the whole time. Awesome, Mark. Nice. Talk about heroes. Mark's music obsession is back. Taken. Yes, thank you, John. It was Taken. Taken. That's right. Taken. Mark's mom is Deep State Black Ops. I'm sorry, Mark's mom. I apologize for Awesome One saying some crazy stuff. I'm fine with more justice like that. A little Taken action. Yeah. It is a nice sculpt. That's right. It is a nice sculpt.
It's actually a really good sculpt.
Do you remember what you were saying about which character you were saying in that one, Art and Times of Jay Ryan? I curious if you can pick out when you said that. After the first Taken, she gets taken again, right? I didn't watch the second Taken because I was like, come on, can that happen again? At that point, I think she must have wanted to be sold into slavery. Yeah, I didn't watch the second one. The first one, I was like, all right, this is amazing. But yeah, when they came out with sequels and it's happening to the same person, I don't know if it happened to the daughter every time, but Liam Neeson was involved every time. It was like, come on, that's a money grab. Both in front of Rocky on the 65-inch screen again. Probably in part why he didn't fight to keep the role after Endgame. Oh, still Captain America's values were a stark difference to Evans' real-life politics. Got it. Well, it's just acting, so appreciate him. I feel like he embodied Steve Rogers really well in his run on the Marvel movies. Whether that's the writing or just his acting in it too. I felt like he embodied it well. So I'll just go with that illusion. I'll just keep that in my brain like he's like that all the time. Captain Kami, Awesome One says, wow, okay. Emo's just like, I just see her like totally overwhelmed by animals right now. And Awesome One says, eat it. Eat the dog, Emo. UK is about to go through a live-action V plot. Woo! Let's hope not. All right, let's see. Chris Evans is a tool. Now. Maybe so. Kind of like a Superman role, too. Yeah, Superman. Ah. I don't know anything about Christopher Reeve's politics or how he felt, but man, that character and that embodiment of Superman on screen was amazing. Like you wanted, it was so true. You wish you could, you were a man that could fly when you watched that movie. And he was so, yeah, you just wanted to be as good as Christopher Reeves. I like to think of it as the exploration of the id, the assimilation of the primal self, and all that young stuff. Yeah. It's all too smart for me. I just like the art. Man, there is something. Feels like this cat hair on my nose. Something just itchy the whole time. Reeves was a good man. Yes. Puntable dogs. Oh my gosh. Emo trash. Chill. It's all right. It's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. All right, guys. Well, that is the comic work that I have, or the comic books that I picked up today. The Grendel Omnibus, the Scarlett number 4, and Rook Exodus number 5. That's all I got for Wednesday, which actually is quite a bit to get through. You guys would not believe. Doesn't matter how many books I review on Wednesdays. I have such a back pile of stuff that even though I've reviewed it or looked at it or opened it on stream, I still haven't read it. So I'm sure most of you who collect comics are similar. Maybe I should come up with another stream of like things I've never read yet so far, which would be a non-stop endless stream. But yeah, that's what we got this week. And this Grendel Omnibus looks great. It was what I was hoping for, what I was expecting, to have that Panda Brothers stuff all compiled in one location. Pretty cool. Nice to have the bonus Tim Sale story at the beginning too. I love me some Tim Sale. I should probably look at some Tim Sale stuff more in depth in the future. He was an artist. There's few artists I had mentioned last stream. Kelly Jones was one of those artists that I'm kind of looking at a lot right now. And Tim Sale is another one that I haven't, when I first saw his stuff, I wasn't that excited about it. And then as I got older and revisited his work, I started really appreciating it. And now I really, really love his stuff. So he is one of those artists. I have quite a few things from him that would be worth looking at closer. I don't know, some way it'd be incorporated in some sort of review or look at his work. But love me some Tim Sale. And yeah. And so I guess next up for me is, I don't know if tomorrow, it'll be either tomorrow or Friday, barring me getting another stomach bug, but hopefully, knock on wood, I don't. But tomorrow, or it's either Thursday or Friday, stay tuned. I should be doing another master study on the Will Eisner page. It'll be another penciling session, just trying to like tighten up those pencils that I started. I'm probably going to work after I get off stream a little bit, getting a little bit farther on that, at least before that next stream. But yeah, stay tuned, subscribe and hit your notification so that you can see, even though the notifications aren't working, you can see when I stream next for those master study series. It's always fun to have everybody around while I'm doing that. Totally different vibe because I'm drawing while that's going on and I have a different setup. But for those of you who are new today, I'd love to have you there. Love to hear your great commentary on all things Eisner, if you love Eisner. But yeah, it's awesome. Awesome seeing the new people here, like Timmy Mello, Antoine Dennison. Great seeing you guys here. And Mo Biggs was here. He popped in and disappeared, so I wasn't able to wrench him. Maybe next time. But it was great seeing you guys here. And hopefully I see you guys around again. And for all of my friends who have been coming here and have been regulars here, thank you so much. Awesome one, Cranberry Landers, Emo Trash. I hope you get all the animal stuff sorted out. Comrade Sammy, are you still around? She's always lurking. John, Mark's Music Obsession, Mark's Music Obsession's mom. Have a good day, Mom. And Awesome One. I already said Awesome One, I think. Did I miss anybody? I hope not. But thank you guys all for being here. It was so fun just checking out this new stuff. And I hope I see you again next time. Hopefully I don't overlap with Shant again next time. Have a good evening, everyone. See you later, Mark. John says bow. Cheers, Rocky. Looking forward to harassing you over the next few years. Awesome. You can be part of this crazy chat that loves to get ahead of me. Great stream, and I definitely got to catch tomorrow. Awesome, Timmy Mill. I'm glad to hear. Thank you so much. Here she is. I'm going to give you another one. I knew it. I knew you were there. May we meet again. Yeah. Did you just have a stroke? All right. Take care, everybody. See you next time.